Jude on the line. We got a fella. A lot of folks might think, well, I don't know if I want to hear from him again or not, but we got to give the man a chance to explain himself.
All right, from ESPN, it's our good friend Jonathan, the Coachman. Morning.
Well, boys, I tell you what, I realized in the last 4 days that per capita, there's more people in Lafayette that watch ESPN than any other city in America.
Well, there you go.
Because I've never had more ill feelings towards me than the last 4 days.
And you worked for the WWE for 10 years, too.
So that's saying something. No doubt.
All right, well, let's get down to it. A lot of folks around here saw the video. You were back at the anchor desk during the Super-Regional coverage, and you made a comment about Lafayette, Louisiana, after the Ragin' Cajuns softball team clinched their trip to the College World Series. Now, you kind of said something about not a whole lot to do in Lafayette. You had been here several times with, I'm guessing, with WWE, right?
Many times.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you want to clarify your statement first?
Of course. Here's the thing, guys. As you guys know, being in the media business, when you're live on the air and you say something, probably 2 times out of 10, it could be taken several different ways. When you're a sports anchor, almost everything you're talking about is sports related. Would you or would you not agree that in Lafayette, there is no pro sports? All I was talking about was from a sports perspective. As far as having a pro team, it's several miles away in New Orleans. All I was insinuating was they have a lot of support here because there's not a lot of sports in Lafayette. That's all I was saying. It had nothing to do with music or festivals or food or anything of that nature.
Man sounds like
he's talking about sports, and I think that was accurate. And it certainly wasn't a dig. It was a compliment to how many people were at the game, how loud it was, all of that. So how people took it as a negative, I guess I can kind of see it, but certainly there was no ill will intended whatsoever.
I am guessing that over the past couple of days you have been schooled about our festivals, our music, our food, and the other things that we have going on.
You know what's so funny, guys? And I'm a kid from Kansas. My home, and your town is much bigger than my hometown. My hometown's about 12,000 people. But the one thing about being from the Midwest is you can be upset, and then at the same time, you're like, come sit down on my table for dinner. And what I have received from the lovely people in Louisiana is, how dare you say anything about our town? Why don't you come? We'll show you around.
Yeah, we'll boil you some crawfish and set down a beer for you. Jonathan Coachman, our special guest from ESPN, kind of clarifying the statements he made on TV. But hey, we got a lot to be proud about with our teams. We got Ragin' Cajuns softball in the College World Series, and our baseball team is hosting a regional and ranked number 1 in the country, actually.
Well, it's so cool, and sometimes, and I see this a lot with different schools around the country, when one program is doing well, it kind of feeds to the other programs, and it's also, it becomes the awareness factor, whereas a lot of fans will say, well, the softball team's done playing, where's the baseball team now? And that really, really is a cool thing, especially if you're not in a major metropolis or if you're not in New York City or LA, then those college teams become everything. Living near New York City for all the years I did when I worked for Vince at the WWE, the one thing that drove me crazy is there was no college atmosphere.
Nope.
There was no college spirit. I mean, St. John's or Hofstra or any of these colleges near New York City, they got lost in the shuffle because of all the pro sports that really engulfed the area. So I love towns that are dominated by a college university.
We are here in Lafayette, particularly with the Ragin' Cajuns. We won a conference in football, won our bowl game, won a conference in basketball, got to the NCAA tournament. The baseball team's done very well. Softball team's done well. Tennis team made to the NCAA regional tournament as well. So, it's been a good year, but I do have to ask, just because, when we talk about college towns, you ever been to Starkville, Mississippi? Yes, you have. You have.
I was accused by one of the many of your wonderful people down there that if I've ever been to Lafayette, and I've also learned it's like Laffy Taffy. I'll never say Lafayette again.
Yes.
Lafayette, if I'm correct in saying that.
You are.
That I just drove by on the highway and I never actually stopped. which is not the case either. But Starkville, conversely, is a town that I've just driven past, and we never really stopped there. There are some towns that are hard to get to and just aren't on the beaten path, and certainly that's one of them, I think.
Well, and Bruce can make it, in all full disclosure, Bruce can make fun because that's his hometown.
That's my hometown. And
there you go.
If you drove by Starkville, Mississippi, then you were lost. Man, we appreciate you taking some time, and
sure.
I think we do fiercely love our team, and we do fiercely love our area, and it's good to hear that kind of conviction and pride. And I, in my heart of hearts, I have misspoken so many times on the radio or said things that I actually meant that were taken the wrong way. So we feel what you're feeling, and it's very cool of you to take a few minutes to come be on the radio and explain it to people. And folks, you can stop with the hate mail and the hate tweets, because the man really does like us. He's kind of behind us and supporting us, and I bet you we get some good love as we get through the College World Series for softball and as our team goes forward in the regionals.
There is no doubt about that my colleagues at ESPN understand the situation, and you guys will get plenty of love, and there's nothing, and I do this because I love to do it, and there is not one place or one town or one college that I don't support or don't really like. So certainly I can handle the criticism, I can handle the hating tweets, but certainly they're misguided, and I'm more than happy, guys, to come on with you this morning and talk a little bit, laugh about it, because at the end of the day, I can appreciate loving your school, I can appreciate loving where you're from, and that to me is what living in this country is all about. So I certainly not upset with anybody that reached out to me. Just relax a little bit and just understand we're talking about college sports and not life or death.
That's right. Amen. Jonathan Coachman, the coach from ESPN. Thank you, my boy.
You got it.